Welcome to the channel today. We weren't supposed to get a rain today, so I wasn't really worried about harvesting the corn. I'm going to show some of that, but it turned out we got probably an inch of rain or so. So I will kind of show you some of the things that's happened. The peppers I planted kind of late, they're starting to mature. Now the storm came through. I'm going to have to get some stakes and straighten them up, but they're doing well. We've got some on the cantaloupes. This here's made. They're not the giant cantaloupes like they're supposed to be, but they are cantaloupes, so make sure you come back and pick those up. Good thing about cantaloupes, most of them, you see it slip. If they pop off real easy, that means they're ready. So you don't have to worry about like watermelon, you know, is it ready or is it not? But those two are ready. We've already picked one, and we got a few more in there, so they've done well. And the blackberries, they made earlier this year, and this is on this year's canes, and they're starting to put in what normally would happen in the fall is happening in this time of year, which is fine. I need to come back and pick these. They're looking okay and looking well. The sweet lemonade tree is kind of overbearing again. It's kind of laid over. I think it's going to be okay. But like I say, it's going to, you know, if everything goes well, don't get a hailstorm, don't get a tornado, hurricane, whatever, it should make really well this year. And it's kind of a boom or bust tree so far. It either makes a lot of fruit or it doesn't make any. But usually the reason it hadn't make any is because we've got a really cold spell and bit the tree back. We had a cold spell last year, this past winter, but it went ahead and made anyway. We got down to 15 degrees and the thing is still producing, so that's doing really well. And I'm going to show you, if I can, the citrus, and probably do one more. Here's citrus here, one tree here. The cara is over there, got a flush on it. The Mr. Mac is growing up over there. I have cleared out some of this over here for the other one, and they're growing well. I might fertilize them one more time. It's getting that time of year. You don't want to fertilize them any later than around July. I would have fertilized them today if I knew it was going to rain, just because you don't want them doing a flush of growth in the middle of winter time. And they'll do that sometimes. So you're trying to put the fertilizer down and give that nitrogen enough time to be used up or do whatever it does, because nitrogen likes to move. So if you put down nitrogen, you know, usually about 3 months time, it's going to do something. It's either going to it's either going to be used by the plant, it's going to run off, it's going to go back into the atmosphere, something. And that's kind of a rule of thumb. That's not necessarily true, but that's kind of what all the experts have always said, is don't fertilize like in August, September, because you don't want that tree to come and have a flush of growth. And the mosquitoes are out now. So let's just go over and we'll go look at the harvesting some of the corn. Okay, now we're over at the Nalo corn patch that we got here. I have been using this to help, you know, cut them down. That gets to be a pain because you got to pull these out to cut them. So we're going to try using a machete. Now, the good thing about a machete, you just got to have one hand. You can take it, cut it down at the bottom, and you got the plant pulled up. You pull this off. Now, the reason you don't want this stuff to get wet, you know, after it starts hardening off like this, is it can sprout in the head. So this is what it's looking like. It can also have some fungus on it. This don't have much. I'll probably work around this. You know, take this off and take some of these off. They're all hardened, and you know, that's kind of all there is to it. But like I say, right now they're wet. I don't want these seeds to sprout, because then it's no good. So I'm going to go ahead and try to cut as much of this as we can and cut it off. And like I say, I think the machete's going to work a lot nicer. Over here, just to show you, the jujube tree, it has started making and got some fruit on it. There's the one jujube tree that blew over, so I'll probably be cutting it down. So this kind of open this up and I can get around things. But anyway, I think that's gonna be a video for today, because I got a lot of work to do. You do have up over there, I've got the apple tree, the pear tree is making well. I have sprayed the stuff that's got out of hand. I sprayed it and most of it died, and so I just need to till it up or plant cover crop in it or do something. But at least I've got it where it's not producing any seeds, and there's still thunder up that. But anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time. And one thing I forgot to say, the reason I'm cutting these down and doing this, if you just cut these down, throw them on the ground, they're not going to decompose. And when you go in next year with a tiller, it's going to clog up that tiller and cause all kinds of problems. How did I know? 'Cause that's what I did last year. I was thinking, okay, I cut them this time of year, throw them on the ground. We're going to get a lot of rain between now and, the end of the year, goes through fall, even spring. When you start trying to till that next year, though, these things will not, they've already hardened off. They're not going to decompose, so we're going to cut them down. We'll throw them over the fence, get them out of the garden. If you had a compost pile, that would be fine, but I don't, so it's not going to, these weeds and stuff, they'll break down and be okay. But this stuff here, it'll be here next year when you try to till up the garden, cause all kinds of problems. So if you got the corn stalks, go ahead and cut them down and get them out of your garden. If you're going to till them, you're not going to be able to till them back in the next year. There's too much residue. Anyway, thanks.